Many people believe that fat loss is simply about eating less and moving more. And at first, that idea seems to work. Calories go down, activity increases, and body weight begins to drop. But after a while, something unexpected often happens. Progress slows down, then it stalls. And eventually, many people find themselves eating less than ever before while seeing almost no additional fat loss. At that point, frustration builds quickly. People begin to believe that their metabolism is broken or that their body simply refuses to lose fat. But in most cases, the real issue is not a broken metabolism. It is something called metabolic adaptation. The human body is extremely good at adjusting to changes in energy availability. When calorie intake drops for an extended period of time, the body begins to respond in several ways. Some of these responses are subtle, but together they can significantly reduce the number of calories your body burns each day. One of the first changes happens in resting energy expenditure. This refers to the calories your body burns at rest just to keep basic systems functioning. Breathing, circulation, cell repair, hormone production. When calories remain low for long periods, the body often becomes more efficient with energy. In other words, it learns how to perform the same essential functions while using slightly fewer calories. This change is usually not dramatic, but it is measurable. Another important change happens with something called non-exercise activity. These are the small movements you perform throughout the day: walking around the house, standing up, fidgeting, taking the stairs, even small posture adjustments while sitting. Individually, these actions seem insignificant, but together they can account for a surprisingly large amount of daily energy expenditure. During long dieting phases, many people unknowingly reduce this type of movement. They sit down more often. They avoid unnecessary walking. They feel slightly more tired and therefore move less. These changes are rarely intentional. Most people do not even notice them happening. But over time, reduced daily movement can remove hundreds of calories from total daily energy expenditure. This is one of the most common reasons fat loss slows down during long diets. Another factor that plays a role is exercise efficiency. When you repeat the same workouts over and over again, your body gradually becomes better at performing them. Your technique improves, your coordination improves, your muscles become more efficient. All of these changes are positive from a fitness perspective, but they also mean that the same workout may burn slightly fewer calories over time. Again, this difference is usually small, but when combined with lower body weight, reduced daily movement, and metabolic adaptation, it contributes to a shrinking calorie deficit. And when the calorie deficit becomes smaller and smaller, fat loss eventually slows or stops. This is where many people make their biggest mistake. They assume the only solution is to push the diet harder. Calories drop even further. Cardio increases again. But when energy intake becomes extremely low, the body often responds by conserving energy even more aggressively. Fatigue increases. Hunger signals become stronger. Daily movement may decrease even further, and the entire process becomes much harder to sustain. Instead of solving the plateau, the strategy sometimes deepens it. This is why experienced coaches rarely respond to fat loss plateaus with immediate and aggressive calorie cuts. Instead, they first look at the bigger picture. They examine daily activity levels. They review calorie tracking accuracy. They consider how long the person has been dieting, and they evaluate overall recovery. In many cases, small adjustments can restore progress without extreme restriction. For example, increasing daily walking can significantly increase total energy expenditure. A few thousand extra steps per day can make a meaningful difference. Another strategy sometimes used during long dieting phases is a temporary diet break. This means briefly increasing calorie intake closer to maintenance levels for a short period of time. The purpose of a diet break is not to reverse progress. Instead, it allows the body and mind to recover from prolonged restriction. Energy levels may improve, training performance may increase, and adherence to the next phase of dieting often becomes easier. In some cases, fat loss resumes more smoothly after the break. But perhaps the most important thing to understand is that fat loss is rarely a perfectly linear process. Progress rarely happens in a straight line. There are periods of faster loss, periods where progress slows, and sometimes periods where nothing seems to happen at all. These plateaus are not a sign that your metabolism is broken. They are simply a reflection of how the human body adapts to changing conditions. Your body is designed to survive. When energy intake remains low for long periods, it becomes more careful with how it uses energy. But when conditions change, the response can change as well. This is why sustainable fat loss usually requires flexibility. Instead of constantly pushing harder, it often helps to step back and adjust the strategy. Small changes in activity, nutrition consistency, or recovery can sometimes restart progress. And over time, these adjustments make the entire process much more sustainable. Because the goal is not just losing weight quickly. The real goal is maintaining those results over the long term. If you're interested in learning more about how metabolism influences fat loss, you can find additional resources in the description below.